Quiet on the set. Here we go. Five, four, three, two, one. Hello, everybody. I'm Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy, but you know that this channel is all about creating journals to tell ancestral stories. This time I have a new project. It's been inspired by and created by Lisa and Tanya. Now, I've been following Lisa, My Eclectic Life, over on YouTube. They came up with a tall journal, very tall pages. This idea appealed to me, and a funny thing was, the day they went live with this video, explaining their Abandoning Perfection journal, which is in the show notes right now, it appealed to me, but particularly since, oddly enough, that very morning I woke up saying, I make a lot of little mini journals with only 2 or 3 or 4 pages, like this one I'm going to do a presentation later today. To put this with this cool little thing my dad made in shop in high school. It's a picture frame. And that's what I normally do, small little journals explaining one inherited artifact from our family. But this time I'm making a journal and I've got all these prompts front and back, and you can get a copy of it as well. The link is at Lisa's website, Lisa My Eclectic Life. So here's the plan. If you do videos or if you take pictures with your camera, post them by 5 o'clock um, p.m. Central, which for me is 4 p.m. Mountain. Use the hashtag Abandoning Perfection Journal. It starts Friday the 2nd of April. That's next Friday. And then these are the notes I took while they were creating their basic journal. I mean, there's all kinds of things like weave paper into a page, write a letter to your younger self and put it in there, sew beads onto 6 pages, color the edges of your journal, drip ink or paint on a page. Heck, I can do that. I still have silver splattered on my large monitor up there from a project I did more recently. Okay, so what they did was they took pages from magazines, and I have magazines that are 9 by 11, and when you fold them in half, you get these nice tall journal pages. And it doesn't matter if you are counting a 2-page spread as 1 page, or this side, for instance, as just 1 page. And I asked, because I'm skipping around already when I looked at the list, you don't have to do this list in order. They have 100 items. You can do them in any order you wish. It isn't going to take 100 weeks to do it because you can do more than one item per week on a page. Uh, Lisa and Tanya made 3 signatures. Now, signature in a regular book, let's see if I've got a book that shows this. Oh, good. This book has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, boy, 8, 9 signatures. And a signature works like this, where it's a folded over and then stitched in place set of pages. And I think that Lisa did 6, but I did 8. Not sure why. Um, okay, so we get that. And they are using file folders for the cover. Okay, I got file folders. Only had to borrow a couple from Mr. Mert. No problemo. They also used some kind of tape to make the spine. They used a ruler, pair of scissors. Now they use, I think Lisa used this little pointy thing from Tim Holtz. And I would have used this all that Mr. Mert gave me because I have to get through some very thick tape. Let me show you that in a second. But I recently, well, it was actually 2 years ago, picked up one of these Japanese screw thingamabobs that punches holes, and it's sort of like a little suspension system. You twist it and it works. And this has the largest point of all. And considering how far I have to go through this tape, it's going to probably be necessary to use this instrument with the larger point. I have a pair of scissors, and I particularly like Opera 50 gauge thread to sew in my pages. I think that Gail likes to use wax thread. I find that too heavy, but remember, I'm used to making itty bitty journals, not great big ones like this. Okay, so I'm going to set aside my 3 signatures, put it over here, and I have no idea if we're live on YouTube. Somebody let me know. I don't know. I hope so. Because I wish I could interact with your comments. All right, let me move these things out of the way because I've got to set these file folders apart. Now, Lisa decided, well, that she was going to glue her file folders together so that one file folder was super double thick, as was the other one, and it's in the middle where you need to join with the tape. I normally use fabric, but I have never done a journal with this many pages, and each page is going to have all kinds of embellishments, and they're going to get heavy, and I'm not sure that this is just ordinary 100% cotton from the quilt fabric store. I'm not sure that's going to be able to hold it. So I've elected to use this. Now, I purposely used some of my vintage photo ink so that I could show you, in addition to this being tape, there's kind of a woven pattern um, there. I don't know, maybe you can see through it, of thread to make that stronger. So this is super strong tape. And I think it will hold. So let me get busy figuring out how to do this. Um, okay. Yeah, there's just a whole woven pattern here. Okay. So I want to cut this for sure slightly longer. And Tanya, or no, Lisa took hers and wound it up over the inside. I think I'm just going to work on getting the outside lined up straight, because this could be a problem for old Mert. Like I say, I'm not used to these big kind of journals. but the project appeals to me. Oh my gosh, this is so sticky on my fingers. Because it says they're abandoning perfection. All right, I got to get this to stay up there somehow. Okay. And we'll get this end to stick. I'm just flipping over the top and the bottom a little, get this straight on my new work surface here. Okay. And I'm not going to need to apply any fabric fix or anything like that. All right, I'm going to overlap a short bit. What is that, about 1/4 of an inch? Because I need to leave space in the middle for this, for the actual spine itself. Now I've got to stand up. Ever since I got these glasses, I tend to do things slightly crookedly, and I do not want crookedliness. Okay. Okay, trying not to be too nervous about it. Okay. All right. So I've left about 1 inch. It's not perfect, but then we are abandoning perfection here. And now I can bring this down. Let me cut this. Whenever I've used this tape to fix books that are practically half dead, meaning they're coming apart at the spine, I've flipped over the corner so that I don't have difficulty finding the edge again and pulling it apart, because this is super, super sticky. Okay, now let's do the same here at the bottom. I know I'm slightly off screen here. Let's see what we can do. All right. Let's see how the other side looks. Whoops, I don't want to put it down because it'll stick to my surface here. Let's go ahead and, because I do want to cover the inside of this, take another cut of this. It's going to be way thick. Maybe I'll just start with the fabric. Yeah, I could do that. I have no idea what I'm doing, Lisa. It's really fun to know that Lisa and Tanya are together in person. All right, so it's going to be going like this, and I'm going to let it wrap all the way around, but we'll do this side first. Well, let's see. Okay, it's slightly off center. Let's see what I can do here. Okay. Now I'm going to leave this edge up or not glued down just yet, because it may be that whatever I decide to put on the inside, I may want to have this showing or I may want to cover it. So I can decide to put the glue on later. This side, however, we will need to put glue. Okay. I think I'm letting this be more nerve-wracking than I should. All right. See what we can do with our fabric fix. It's all good. It's okay, Mert. You can do this. All right. Trying to get this in mostly the middle in case I decide to do something interesting with the fabric not being totally glued down. Depends on what I decide to do on the cover. Okay, now let's bring this down. Okay, this is doable. I guess because it's big, I'm kind of nervous. I know with a little one, like this little guy, if I didn't like it, I could just, do another one. I still call this a journal if what it does is tell the story of my dad and the woodworking that he loved to do and what his dad said about whether or not he should become a cabinet maker or a doctor. I'll give you a clue. His dad wanted him to be a doctor, period. That was it. But his father had a very long, hard life. And we're going to have to put a little glue right here. And who wouldn't want to have a son that was a doctor? So basically, he suggested to my father that if you are a doctor, then you can afford to buy the tools you want to use and have a good shop. And he did have a good shop. I'm going to have to say all this again for my grandchildren in my 52 things for the day or for the week. Okay. All right. Not so hard as I thought. Let's get a little bit more. And we're not worrying about the pinked edges versus these raw edges right here. Okay. Okay, now it's going to take a little bit for this to dry. But the next thing we're going to be doing, and I really love using this Tim Holtz ruler, because on this side it has the 1 to 12. On this side it starts with 0 in the middle. So I can line up roughly a 1/4 inch on each side, and I now know where the exact middle is. And I'm going to put in 3 signatures, so I need to make 3 marks. Let's see if the pencil will show up enough. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to try to go in the middle first. 1/4 of an inch. Well, that's, yeah, a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch on each side. So here we go. And here we go. Whoops, we lost our pencil point. Okay. And then let's mark. Now, none of my pages are half pages. They're all full pages. Some journals that people make, they stick something really cute that's, like 3/4 the size of this, but I don't have that problem here. All right, let's get back to our 1/4 inch. There's our 0. So we're going to come in here and here. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's the whole point of this exercise. Okay. And this is just the cover. But I wanted Tanya and Lisa to know that I think it's a great idea. And it's funny that I woke up that very morning that you released your video explaining this project and was dreaming of making a journal that was going to be very tall and thin, like a really big traveler's journal. Okay, so now I need to mark the middle and out a little bit, but not right on the edge because that's where the purple is. This is where I will need to put the holes for the thread to go through with the needle. That looks like it's off, but I'm not worrying about it because we're abandoning perfection. Okay, so now I've got 3 places. Now the next thing is I need to protect this glass. So I just have this humongous big thing here. But let's see what we can accomplish with this foam underneath. Okay, let me try it the way Lisa did with this. Oh, not a problem. It works fine. Although I have to remember that there's that really sticky glue on or not glue, but the tape itself is just super sticky. Let's see what it looks like with the awl on this third one. That one was a little bit bigger hole, but it was harder for me to catch on the backside. But it still looks okay. Okay, let me keep trying with that one. Now what I'm doing is putting my 2 fingers underneath, splayed apart, knowing that I can keep this up off the surface, but I don't want to, poke my finger at all. So let's see. Okay, now we do have a problem on this side because it's pulling up. So I do need to put some glue along here. So I will do that. Oh, I don't know if you've ever made a journal this large. You're probably giggling at what I'm going through, but we don't really giggle and give each other a hard time. We giggle because we know we've been there before. In this case, this is all new territory for me. So I'd put glue in the middle portion, but not the portion of the tape that was up on top of the file folders themselves. Okay, let's see if we have trouble on this side. Yeah, we've got it. Okay, now in StreamYard, I do so wish that I could pause, but I cannot. It's one thing I think we all beg for, because then I could let this dry. Let's see what I can do in the way of cutting through. I'll try here. Okay, that was pretty easy. Here's another one. Come on, Mert, you can do it. Okay. And the other one. Wow, that was getting easier. It's okay. Now we're on these middle. We did that one middle one, but we had trouble with the back side, which it's now coming in just fine. So the awl is interesting because this is not round. This looks, if we were to slice it, it would look like a triangle. So it's more than just the point. And the farther in I push, the better this awl can widen the hole itself. Okay, and I think we need one more hole. Well, that's pretty good. Do we have this? Yep. So we have all three. And now we need to actually, here's my needle, which I'm putting right here. But we need to get the thread ready. Okay. And everybody always does like 3 times the height of the spine, but I always do 4. I don't know if I'm a nut or what, but I'd hate to go through all the effort of sewing only to find I can barely um, tie the tie. Alrighty. So now we need a marker. So let me find the inside of this particular. We need to mark where where I'm planning to put the holes. Now, both Tanya and Lisa cut about a 1/2 inch off of their folder. I'm going to keep it because I'm planning to do quite a bit with fabric on the cover. Could be wrong. I maybe will wish that I had cut down the file folder. I honestly don't know, but anyway, let me mark on the inside where I need to. There's one. There's this one, which I'm going to have to extend way over here so I can see it, and then here. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to I've folded it. I've now put this in the center of that particular signature. And we're getting ready to do this. Oh, I forgot the clips. Do I have any clips? Here, I thought I was so prepared. Let's see if this will work, because I need to have something to hold these pages in. I have sewn much smaller journals. I'm just not sure. Okay. Let's poke through here, because I don't want to have to do this with my needle. Okay, 1, 2. Oh, golly. That's hard. You feel like you're going to mess up, but we are abandoning perfection. So let's do it. Come on. Okay, we got it. Okay, let's hold these fairly close by. And I'm going to put this on the left side. This will be the last signature in the book. All right, let's clear our workspace and thread our needle. Now it doesn't matter where you start, the middle, the outside, the inside. I think Lisa started with the center, so I shall. And we'll put it through that hole and through the left of these 3 holes. Okay, let's leave a nice tail there. And we're going to come up through this one. Oh golly, I wish I was more proficient at this. Okay, here we go. Came up. Wow, I pulled it too far. Oh golly. All right, I'll tell you what. I think this is too nerve-wracking for me to do this on camera. I mean, I'm just a baby at doing this. Um, but I am going to successfully sew in each of these 3 signatures. And I'd kind of like to do it off camera, but maybe I'm wimping out. Let me just try one more time. Just don't pull it so far, Mert. Not quite so far. I can tell you this much, that my needle is picking up a lot of the residue from that sticky tape. Okay. All right, I'll try it again. I guess one advantage of my showing you that I have challenges doing this is that you won't feel so badly if you happen to have challenges. Okay, we're going to come up through this hole. Okay, it's starting to take shape. Now, we're going to go down through this hole in the middle again. And you have to be careful not to catch the thread because you don't want to split the thread. Here we go. Okay. Now we're ready to come up through this at this spot. Oh, guess it would help if we did the needle the correct direction. Almost got it. I didn't intend for this to be a very, very long video. Let's see what we can accomplish here. Okay, we're coming up through this hole. And I'm going to bring it up and underneath that previous thread so I can tie a reasonable knot. Okay, and Lisa left her strings long because she was planning to hang some beads. I'm not sure that I'm doing that. Now, what have we got happening here? It's a little bit loose here and there. So let's see what's happening. It's fine here, but it's loose there. So let's pull these taut. Oh, good. Oh, do we need Mr. Mert's finger to help hold this in place? I think we've got it, by George. Okay, I'm doing a square knot. I'm just going to cut mine about this long, just an inch or so. And we have our first signature in here. This is like progress for old Mert. This is what it looks like from the top. All right, let's sew the others in. It shouldn't take that long now that I've got the hang of it. Although, man, is my poor needle all stuck up. I have a stuck up needle. Okay, get some more. 1, 2, 3, 4. This time we'll go in the middle. And I think it's significant to note that they are having us sew in the signatures before any of the embellishments have gone on the pages. And I think the thought process might be that because we're planning to add embellishments of pockets and things, we want to put these, do the sewing part, which you saw was challenging enough for old Mert, when there's the least amount of weight in these pages. Now, none of these pages will have any of this showing through. it's just used as a base. So it could be any magazines that you're interested in. Okay, so we've got to mark where we need to punch our holes. Let's get these straight. Okay, I'm going to do it on the outside this time. See if I can see well enough to punch the holes. This one I'm going to go way over because I can't quite see where it is. Okay. Hold these together tightly. This is where you really do need paper clips, that like really heavy duty ones. Okay. Let's try that all again. I seem to be pretty happy with that. Okay, you can do this, Mert. Move your fingers so you don't get jabbed. There's one. Where's that middle point? Yep. Here we are. Oh, man. They must be stronger than old Mert is. They didn't seem to struggle as much. Okay, and here we go in here. Just a nice little, we can do it. Now I wish I'd only done 6 pages and not 8. Okie dokie artichoke. All right, so we are going to go down through the center. Okay. And through the center of this. Okay, it's slightly off, but that's okay. We're going to come up through the middle over here. This is doable. Yep. Let's see. That's nice with my long COVID white hair stuck in the middle of it all. Okay. Now we're coming up through the pages at that upper point. Very easily done. I'm taking that little clip off. Oh my gosh. All right, and I almost pulled this all the way through my tail, my beginning tail. Okay, now we have to go down through this hole again, but careful not to catch it in the thread itself. Okay. And then, ooh, same thing. Into this point. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to come up through this. Have we got to have a little problem? Oh, let's see. We need to pull tight. Pull tight. Okay, we're good. I feel like I spend a lot of time cheering myself on when doing these projects. Okay, it's up through that hole, but come on, there we go. That needle's getting a lot of that stickiness from that super strong tape. I don't even remember the name of the tape. If I had to order it again, I wouldn't know what to do. Okay, now I have a knot. I'm sure that never occurs in anybody's embroidery or knitting or sewing at all. Oh dear, what are we gonna do? May have to, it's just not coming out. I may have to leave it as abandoning perfection. All right, now let's check the outside. Any loops? No, it looks great. Inside we have a knot, but I think we can live with it. Okay, now I'm bringing this up, and so I can cross it over. I'm going to take it underneath this thread here. So we can tie our knot. Okay. It's okay if we have an extra loop. They're not hiring me to be a perfectionist here. We're abandoning. Okay, we have our second signature in the journal. One more to go, and we can do it if you're following along. At the very least, you're getting some ideas of whether or not you'd like to make this kind of sewn in um, spine. Okay, here's one. I have to make quite a line because this is dark. 2 and 3. Okay, Mr. All, see what you can do to help me here. Okay, we're going to hold these pages together with this clip. This is actually a circular paper clip, but it is really tight. So I'm not going to be able to splay these. We don't want them to move while we're doing this part. Okay, so here we go. Okay, 1. Okay, where's this one? It's so hard to see. Right there. We can do it. Okay. 2. And the last one is somewhere down here. I honestly cannot see. Oh, there it is. There we go. 3. Okay, so we've got our 3, and we're ready to rock and roll on this one. Boy, I sure have a lot of this thread left. I think I'll just do 3 this time and be really brave. 1, 2. I'm being very liberal on my 3. Oh, okay. All right. We'll thread our needle. Now, the needle I'm using does have a sharp point because it's not having to cut through anything since we've already um, formed the holes for each signature and into the spine. Okay. Oh, golly, it seems like such a short amount. I'll try to be brave, guys. All right, we're going to start with this middle. And we've gone through the signature middle. Let's get it onto this spine itself. Okay, I don't know, it's so short. Now through this upper portion of the spine. Let's see what we've got. Oh yeah, it came through perfectly. Just a little sticky. And it's nice and straight. Now up through the upper portion of the book, signature. Let's see how this looks. There's no extra loopiness there. Okay, down through the middle again, being careful not to catch that thread. Okay. And through the spine itself at that midpoint. Good. Oh, please let me have enough to, oh, it's going to be close. I'm doing 4 from now on. It's too nerve-wracking. Just 3 widths. Okay, here we go. And now through that last part, that third hole, there we go, on this signature. Okay, now let's check. No loopiness. No loopiness. Oh, golly, look how short it ends up being. Bring it through and around so I can tie a knot. Take the needle away. I keep it right there. Stuck in the top, ready for the next project. I seem to use this color a lot. I do have the thicker white. They didn't have white or tan in this weight, and I like this weight. Okay, let me stick that up there. Okay, we're ready to tie this square knot. I can't believe I did it. So far, so good. Theoretically, possibly. Well, I was worried I would not have enough to tie that. So thank you, Lisa and Tanya, for this suggestion. Now, I still know that obviously this is too big. These are too wide. So I'm going to be turning it in. I think I will do what Lisa did, and I can still go back and glue this together and turn some of it in for a cover, and some of it will be for a pocket, but that I'll just have to catch you up on that when I get done with it. Nothing left to say, but I'm Dear Myrtle, your friend in genealogy. Happy family tree climbing and journal making, everybody. That's a wrap.